All right, let's do it. Hey there, I'm meteorologist Ben Peine. It is Ben at 10 TGIF. We've made it to Friday, and woo, what a doozy yesterday was with the flooding over much of southern Indiana. We've got some video of that flooding here coming up. Just too much rain over too little time caused our problems yesterday evening. I'll show you kind of the setup of that. We'll do a little recap of our flash flood event for parts of the area yesterday. Then we're going to look ahead to some more pop-up storm chances as we head over the next few days. And then we're going to be transitioning to a hotter and drier weather pattern as a mini heat wave could be setting up over our area as we head to the middle of next week. In the meantime, here at 10:01, thanks for joining our Ben at 10 show. I'm meteorologist Ben Peine. And thanks for popping in, whether it's on my Facebook page, Meteorologist Ben Peine, Extol Weather on Facebook, Extol Media on YouTube, and extolmag.com/weather on the World Wide Web. Our live look outside here at the corner of Market and Vincennes. We just have some clouds. And today, thankfully, is looking like a drier day, certainly than what we had yesterday. Maybe an isolated shower, but most locations will be mostly dry for this afternoon. So that is a current look outside right now. We're going to bring up some current conditions as well. As we look at the radar and satellite right now, things have certainly settled down as we zoom in a little bit closer. You can see most of the activity, the scattered showers into Ohio and West Virginia. As we zoom in a little bit closer, there's one little guy out here out to the west near Evansville. We'll see if that holds together. And if it does continue to track to the east, there is a kind of a washed out front that's kind of settling over the Bluegrass Western Kentucky Parkway. So areas south of Louisville, a better chance of some scattered showers and thunderstorms later today. We'll take a look at all that. We'll plan out the weekend with the weather models here coming up. Generally, it's around 10:15, 10:20. We'll dig into the weather model data. Before that, we'll give you the forecast. And before that, I like to look at the current conditions out there. And with that, we go to extolmag.com/weather, where you find our current live stream, the interactive radar, current temperatures, which shows 75 degrees, our 7-day forecast that I posted this morning. Cruise on down. This is my favorite spot, the full screen interactive radar right there. And so we're seeing temperatures in the mid-70s. Seeing some comments popping in. We'll get to some comments too. And this is a reminder that it's your show. Please dive in. Let us know what's happening in your neighborhood, your town. Maybe you've got a county fair, an event. Let us know what's happening in your area. We can give it a little shout out. Comments, suggestions, maps you want to look at. Again, this is your Southern Indiana weather broadcast daily, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. And then, of course, Southern Indiana and beyond, as we often look through our friends in the Commonwealth too. So temperatures in the mid-70s out there. And you can see the showers off to the west. There's one little lightning strike in that activity off to the southwest of Evansville right now. The winds are pretty light and variable across the area. So that is the current conditions out there at extolmag.com/weather. And a live look here, mostly cloudy conditions, as well as we take a look at the full screen view of the Falls of the Ohio Foundation.org camera. And we do have some wild video here to show you coming up in just a few moments of some of that flooding that we got across the area. It was pretty massive there around Pekin, Indiana, around New Boston, parts of eastern Washington County yesterday, and of course, other areas as well. All right, we have in the comments section, almost always number one, we've got good morning from Borden, Indiana, ready for this rain to quit. Let me know, too, if you had some impacts last night from some of that rainfall. Thankfully, in our area, the roads are turning into the streets. There's one tree down. You could barely get under it getting out of our neighborhood. So sometimes you get these waterlogged root systems. You don't need a lot of wind to go ahead and knock down the trees, especially if the tree is heavier on one side than the other, or it's on a hillside. You get those roots loosened up and they can topple on over. So that can be an impact from the flooding as well. Orlean Whitlow, good morning from Hodgenville. Love Hodgenville. Been down there with the chamber before and have talked there at the wonderful biscuit place. What's that biscuit place named? Let me know about that, Orlean. That was some good home cooking down there in LaRue County. And she says, oh, it's hot. Mike Sievert, good morning to everyone. And Beverly checking the rain gauge there, 2 inches. I agree with that because in our pool, our little pool in a box out in the backyard, it had, about that much, and it was pretty much up to the rim. So we had a ton of rainfall last night across the area. Gary Cooper, good morning. Good job done on the rain. We're in pretty good shape on the rain. If we could, I remember, be careful what you ask for because earlier this week, I know there's some folks that still wanted the rainfall. We'll take a look at the rainfall totals here in just a second as well. They've been pretty impressive across the area. All right, so moving right along here, I want to get some announcements out, and then we'll get cruising right into your Friday forecast. Again, happy Friday. And this here is lionsroofingco.com. Was just texting with DJ from Lions Roofing this morning. 812-294-3595. You can see it on their website and get free estimates right there. If you put in some of that information, you can learn more about their family-owned company, commercial, residential roofs, and how they can help financially, serving customers in Louisville, Kentucky, and Southern Indiana. And if you go to careers right there, you can see that they do have that roofing repair technician job opening, which you can apply for right there online. So let your family or friend, grandchild, child, that they needed an opportunity right there. Let them know about that. I want to give a shout out to Michael Long, who worked right along hand in hand with Lions Roofing to fix my mom's roof. Thankfully, as well, to, I believe, Performance. My mom got the inside of her house fixed yesterday, which was kind of crazy because it was March 17th storm, I believe, that damaged her roof. And then, March, April, May, June, July. April, May, June, 4 months to the day, she got it all fixed. It took a while for the inside to get done, but thankfully all done there. And again, thanks to the help with, communication, the adjusters, all that good stuff. Here is your future American Family Insurance agent, Michael Long. Give him a ring, 812-578-3072. I was just on the texting with him too. He had his driveway kind of washing out from that heavy rainfall there in Washington County as well. A bunch of 5-star reviews because he's proud to be an American Star certified agency, excellence in customer service. If you want to quote, give him a shout right there. You can find him at amfam.com and just search Michael Long. There you can see his name right there. A bunch of job openings as well. I just want to give a shout out to libspaving.com. L-I-B, B as in Ben, S paving.com. All of the available opportunities right there at your fingertips here at libspaving.com. Click on the right side to learn more, and you can apply there online as well. And another shout out to ivytech.edu. We'll be heading out there likely live, I believe, next month as we put that together because they are going to be having their fall sessions on August 25th. They have a lot going on there at their Sellersburg location. You just go to locations, hit Sellersburg, and you can learn a bunch more about all their programs that they have offered and all the help that you can get no matter where you are at, whether you're maybe a sophomore or junior in high school and you want to get that 2-year certification and just be right in the workforce, making that money right away. You can do that. Maybe you're in your 30s or 40s. You want to level up. You're not super happy with what's going on in your career. You want to change things up. A lot of different programs right there for you. There's help with tuition and aid, and they've got partnerships with businesses and organizations and schools all throughout Southern Indiana. So check them out. Again, there is the look at the current conditions on our map here at extolmag.com/weather. Seeing some more comments popping in here. We got Linda Lawrence with a good morning here. Melvin Hardin here, 4.33 inches of rainfall this week. 2 of those last night west of Salem. 100% believe that. Vicky Berger, what a great day. Hello. And a good morning from Perry Porter. I didn't drown last night. Thankfully, yeah. Turn around, don't drown, as our good friend Tad, as we had way too much rainfall. It is Fish and Shirt Friday. the cheap real life shirts. Not that real life is cheap, but at Sam's, these were like, I don't know, $10 a piece. I grabbed a bunch of them. Comfy summer shirts that you can throw on here. All right, let's get to that forecast and just a quick reminder here. Let me go ahead and bring this one up, that you can partner up with us as well. And if you have any weather questions, please send them to me, Ben at extolmag.com, EXTOLMAG.com, or Jason at extolmag.com. So again, if it's you or your family member or somebody that you know, let us know if there's a company or an organization that wants that Southern Indiana megaphone. We'll help brag about them right here on Ben at 10 or throughout our other channels on Extol Media. All right, our weather headlines for today for your 7/18/25, July 18th. Drier today, just about a 20% chance of an isolated pop-up, but the best chance is going to be, I think, down around the Bluegrass Western Kentucky Parkway in central Kentucky of some additional storms today, where they did not get as much yesterday. Pop-up weekend storms from time to time, and maybe watching out for a line of storms if they can hold together tomorrow evening. We're going to kind of keep an eye on that. We'll show you the model data with that as we plan out the weekend. And then we've got a heat wave that could build in by the middle of next week, talking heat index numbers over 100. And then a long-lasting, super humid weather pattern that I really see no end in sight for now. So that's a lot about what we're going to be talking about. Beverly Haggis tuning in with, my daughter lives in Charlestown, Indiana. She said that her pool is so full. 100% agree with that. Same in my backyard. They can't get in it, and their subdivision was starting to flood last night. Yeah, flooding causes a lot of issues. It's the #1 wet storm-related killer. Keep that in mind. You got to always take that flooding seriously. John Fox with a good morning, and the same from Lillian Lasley. Lillian got the rain. Yeah, most of us did for sure last night. Back to the weather graphics here. So this is the setup that I wanted to show you. So notice this wedge feature. I posted this last night. Wedge feature. This was right before a lot of the flash flood warnings. I was like, get ready. This is kind of a flood setup here. So you have this line of storms up in southern Indiana, then arcing line of storms southwest of Louisville. The south storms getting fed by a south breeze. Notice the wind direction arrows feeding into the south end of the storms. And then the wind direction arrows on the north end getting fed by muggy air from the north. And so you've got this convergence, this moisture convergence, this moisture pooling of tropical air in one place. And so it pools up right there. It had nowhere to go, and it just continued to dump and dump and dump rain. So that was an interesting summertime feature with that rain. And what did that do? Take a look here. I'm going to show you some videos. My audio will probably drop out, but take a look. This is in Pekin, Indiana, behind the Casey's gas station there by Shorts Corner Road. So you're going into Pekin. You see the gas station. Take a left. There's the creek back there, and take a look at what this did. A lot of people saw this last night, but there was a camper, thankfully no one in it, going down the river. Let's see how this looks. I look closely.
I think that's about to go towards the...
It's going to go towards the bridge.
So right by that speed limit sign, 20-mile speed limit sign. Watch this camper go behind it. And then it gets just sucked up by the bridge.
Oh, okay.
The power of water is just incredible.
I want to back up so I don't come crashing
And it's
into you.
also incredible how quickly these creeks and rivers flash flooding and then they drop back.
Yeah.
So here it goes. And this was from the Washington County Sheriff's
Dad
Department.
sent me pictures of
Shared
crossing this up
by
in
the
his
way.
yard.
Thankfully that car stopped.
He's standing right
He
here.
can see it, I'm pretty sure.
So here it is, hitting the bridge. And you cannot fight the power of water. It is
Go to Sullivan. Go to Sullivan.
massive.
It's one of like this across Sullivan too.
So if you're looking closely, of course, we see this a lot better if you're on the big screen there. But
Yeah,
She'll
Extol
be
is
better
gonna
off.
be just
She'll be
bad.
better off the other side.
Try backing up a
It
bit.
reminds me of those machines that tear up scrap metal and things like that. So there it goes, getting sucked under the bridge. And there's a picture
Yeah,
under the
probably
comments
not.
there of that camper on the other side, just kind of all in that mud. So crazy stuff there. And then here, take a look at this. This was before all the flooding. I was at my mom's house and was recording this as the streets turned into creeks. See that water just flowing right down the road. And when you get too much water over too short of a period of time, it has nowhere to go but into the ravines, and it fills up pretty quickly. So crazy stuff. And then this morning, I wanted to show you video. Watch Oldham County in this next video. I know it's kind of a small video. A shower moves out of Oldham County, and then the purple martin roost. Thousands and thousands of purple martins take off right at sunrise to go hunt for food. So this is a look at that. You can see them getting picked up by the radar. Oops, that was so quick. It's going to cover me up, but let's try to show that again. So look at the Oldham County and the explosion. I should have slowed this video down. Boom, right there. See it? Let's do it again. Boom, right there, right out of like Goshen and Prospect. They've been there for years. I mean, every year since I've been a meteorologist in the area, this time of the year through August, right at sunrise, the radar picks them up. So look at it a couple more times, right there. Kind of looks like an explosion. Those are all those purple martins taking off from their roosts. So very cool. There's your bird nerd segment that we haven't had in a little while. Okay, that's all the flooding issues that we had yesterday. So hopefully no more flooding issues for a while, although we will have some pop-up storms from time to time. Here's that forecast today. And we'll get into the weather model data. We'll dig deep into that and look way ahead here in just a second. So 88 degrees, the high temperature. I've got our isolated pop-up chance at 20%, so mostly dry this afternoon. A little better chance in central Kentucky of additional showers and thunderstorms. Otherwise, just a really humid day today. Dew points are in the 70s. A UV index, lower level is 6, thanks to mostly cloudy sky that we have across the area. Low levels on the allergy report. And that forecast for your July the 18th. Upper 80s, warm and humid. Again, isolated pop-up. Southwest wind around 5 to 10. Sunset 9:03. Still holding on to those after 9 p.m. sunsets. 75 degrees tonight. Partly cloudy and just a humid summer night. We will not be able to get rid of this humidity anytime soon. Tomorrow's forecast for your Saturday, July the 19th. Mid-70s in the early morning hours. 84 at noon. Not the greatest camping weather because it's so stuffy. We can't really cool down much at night. Really dewy conditions. And then upper 80s for tomorrow, about the same kind of day, but a little better chance of some pop-up storms. And we may have to watch for a line of storms if it can hold together coming in from the northwest. We've got a front that's going to lift to the north tomorrow. So there's a better chance over central northern Indiana of strong to severe storms. And our 7-day forecast here for you. Let me get my face out of the way. And so we're looking at upper 80s, low 90s through Tuesday, and some decent chances of pop-up showers and thunderstorms with some occasional heavy downpours here through Monday. Now, a ridge of high pressure is expected to build in Tuesday, 92 degrees. And it'll give us some hotter and drier conditions. Look at the nighttime temperatures going up mid to upper 70s. So we're looking at 95 around there, at least probably next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, mostly dry. Heat index could be climbing to around 100 to 105. So yeah, we'll take the drier conditions. On the flip side, we got to pay for it with some hotter conditions as well. So that is your forecast right there. We're about to get into that weather model data here in just a second. And Vicky says one person passed away and a dozen struck by lightning in New Jersey. It's been a crazy year for a lot of us, no doubt about that. Angela, wow, good morning. Hope no one was hurt in all that. Tons of rain. And you have a nice day. Always love the emojis there with Angela. Thanks for popping in the comments there this morning. All right, so we are going to pull up, again, what's happening here. Let me remove that, bring up this, and we are going to take a look at the weather map. So again, most areas are now dry. There's a couple showers trying to fall apart there just south of Evansville, and today is looking mostly dry with most of our activity off to the northeast. So let me get out of the full screen mode, and I'm going to bring in let's look at dew points. And then we'll get to the weather maps. Oh, we've got a spammer in the comments. Ignore, and I'll delete that. Oh, I'll just delete it. Boom. It looks like they let me block it right here. Bear with me while I block the user. Delete the comment. Sweet. I didn't know I had that ability right here. Sweet. Dorothea Mitchell, looks like this might be a record-breaking summer for heat and rain. Maybe not high temperature heat, but low temperature heat I would agree with. And hopefully we can get some drier weather. This has just been too much. Angela says, bye, spammer. Yeah, it's cool. I've never tried to get rid of them through this program. Usually I have to go back into Facebook and try to do that. So this is the dew points. So if you want the refreshing air, check that out. Up in the Great Lakes, 50s. They are happy people up there. And you know what? Indianapolis, 64 dew point. That's not too shabby either. Northern half of Indiana, feeling pretty good. Southern Indiana, Kentucky, we're in the tropics, and it's just not going anywhere. I don't know if you remember this, but like a week and a half ago, we were trying to get that cooler air to move south. It did make it to central Indiana, but it just could not win the battle for us. So we are still in the muggy stuff around our area. All right, let's go to future radar. Looking at the models here. And as you know, if you're a frequent viewer, we like to start off with the high resolution rapid refresh weather model. Here is time now, time 0, and it shows the showers mostly off to our east. And going into the afternoon here, this is around 2, 3 o'clock. So it shows no rain over southern Indiana. So that is nice for this afternoon. It shows the best chance of some showers and storms there south of Lexington, south of the Bluegrass Parkway. You know you can do it now. I've got the power to block and to get rid of them. All right, so here is a look at 5 p.m. So this is your Friday evening. If you got some plans to be out and about, looks like we're pretty quiet across the area with, again, most of the activity settling down to the south of the parkways. It's around 9 p.m. So there you can see most areas dry. South of the Bluegrass, Western Kentucky Parkway, best chance for some of those showers and thunderstorms later on today. I'm going to switch it into the NAM 3-kilometer with the reflectivity. I'm going to bring this back to time 0, right? What's happening right now. It does not start off very good. It is over amplifying the rain, so not a good solution to start off with. The HER weather model doing better, but it does show similar solution for later today. With this is around 3 p.m. Notice the rain chances to the southeast. Most areas are dry here throughout our area, mostly cloudy conditions. The NAM showing just that isolated 20% pop up. I was respecting the NAM 3-kilometer to keep a very isolated 20% chance of a pop up today, but again, most locations are going to be staying dry. It also has the trend of most of the active weather down towards southern Kentucky and into Tennessee, right around the Tennessee and Kentucky state line. And that is for today. Let me jump into our Saturday, the 19th. This is going to start off tomorrow morning. and it looks pretty quiet. I'm going to go into noon tomorrow. Shows isolated pop-up shower or thunderstorm, but notice the more active weather off to our north, up around Indianapolis to Chicago. Going into the afternoon tomorrow, this is around 4 p.m. for your Saturday. Can't rule out a pop-up downpour. I've got it at about a 40% chance of that shower or thunderstorm for your Saturday. But let's take a look at Saturday evening and see if we get some storms that try to hold together and move into our area. So this is at 7 o'clock, and then here is 8 p.m. So as we get towards sunset, going to watch out for some storm potential. Now, the NAM 3-kilometer doesn't show a whole lot. But let's go over to, again, we've got to respect the other high-resolution weather model. And so we're going to take this one to the 19th afternoon. 19th, of course, is tomorrow. So it also shows some hit or miss pop-up showers and thunderstorms. But the HER weather model, as we head towards tomorrow evening, notice it shows kind of a big cluster of storms up in central Indiana. And that's where the Storm Prediction Center has a level 2 out of 5 slight risk of severe storms for tomorrow up in central Indiana. Now, this is what I meant by, let's see if these will hold together. If they hold together, southern Indiana might, in northern Kentucky, get a decent shot of some strong thunderstorms tomorrow evening. This is a snapshot at 9 p.m. tomorrow evening. And then here's at 10 o'clock, they'll likely kind of weaken as they move south of I-64 and south of the river. And then that is tomorrow at 11 p.m. So there you go. Some more occasional pop-up showers and thunderstorms. Hey, my mom popping in. Good morning from Mom and Grandma. Happy day to our favorite meteorologist. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. And we've got Angela popping in. Hope your back is doing somewhat better. To your back, it tells you all about it. 35 years in nursing. Angela, by the way, my mom and my grandma did 150 years of nursing. Maybe not exactly, but both nurses, OR nurses, operating room nurses. Thanks to all the nurses out there. My aunts were nurses. Long line of nurses in my family. Okay, there is that weather model data. Let's go ahead and switch into the GFS high resolution weather model. Actually, before we do that, let's go into the Storm Prediction Center's outlook of severe weather. So this is today. It shows just a level 1 out of 5, the lowest risk of severe storms over really central southern Kentucky into northern Tennessee, not southern Indiana. Southern Indiana has no risk of severe storms. So again, south of Louisville is the better chance of some storms later today and tonight. Let's go into day 2 from the Storm Prediction Center. And notice the slight risk, it's a pretty big slight risk of severe storms here over central Indiana, northern Illinois, southern Michigan, northern Ohio, eastern Iowa. So that's level 2 out of 5. So some stronger thunderstorms more likely to the north. Southern Indiana tomorrow and northern Kentucky, basically along and north of I-64 under that greener color, that's 1 out of 5, the lowest level severe weather risk for our area. So it'd be low level risk, but it's kind of picking up on that complex of storms we saw on the high resolution rapid refresh weather model and seeing how long that can persist as it moves to the south. So watching that for tomorrow evening with the potential of some strong thunderstorms. And Vicky Berger, my granddaughter, Peyton, is an RN. I remember Peyton. Her mom is, her grandma and great-grandma were all RNs. This is celebrating Nurses Day here on Ben at 10. We do appreciate all you do. And I know my mom, all that standing around, especially the operating room, a lot of not easy jobs that they have to do. My mom would come home with lots of stories from the operating room, at the dinner table too, which sometimes were not pleasant. All right, here's the climate predictions. 6 to 10 day outlook. That is the heat wave that we're talking about, middle end of next week. and we're kind of right there in the bullseye. So that's going to get us into the triple-digit heat index zone for the middle and end of next week. So the Climate Prediction Center picking up on that. 8 to 14-day outlook. A very hot United States, it shows, as the ridge of high pressure and heat wave goes over the central United States, over the Great Plains. We're kind of on the edge of that. Now, what's interesting about this for us for the next couple of weeks, if we're on the periphery, on the edge of a heat wave, see this? So your ridge of high pressure is out here, high pressure. So they're going to be hot and dry over the midsection of the United States. But since we're on the edge, we can get some storms to cruise down this way from time to time on the edge of the jet stream. This can still be kind of a storm highway over the Ohio Valley and the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes. So our stormy pattern may not come to, we may get some breaks, like middle of next week. I think we're drier and hotter, but past that, if we set up this weather pattern, we could be getting into some complexes of storms from time to time to round out the rest of our July. Angela says, speaking of nursing, hard as hell, but I loved it for sure. My mom loved it too. She was excellent and still is at sewing and all that stuff, and suturing, and at home always practicing sewing. What kind of sewing? A lot of different types of sewing. I'm forgetting. I called it yarning. Always had some yarn around the living room. Crocheting. My daughter's medical assistant, CNA, works at Floyd Hospital. Thank you to your daughter and her work and her service to us there. All right, so hot weather pattern and a busy, possibly busy weather pattern for the rest of July. Let's bring up the precipitable water, and then we'll kind of wrap our weather model data portion of our show up. If you're just tuning in, we did cover some of the flash flooding that we had over parts of the area with some video. So if you watch the replay, you can check out some of that from earlier in our show. And let me bring back up the future radar here, and I'm going to bring up the GFS and the precipitable water. So I'm going to take this into the middle of next week, which, you know, around the 23rd, 24th is when this heat wave builds in. So I'll go to the 23rd afternoon. And not only the heat wave that we have across the area, but we're also going to have, muggy weather continuing to persist across the eastern half of the United States. So that horrible combination of heat and humidity, the triple H, hazy, hot, and humid. Let's go 27th. That would be maybe like the Sunday, the 27th. Still muggy. It was trying to give us some hope a few days ago, some relief there on the 27th. I'm betting on the 30th now. Maybe towards the very end of July. Okay. But it's been teasing us. The outs, or the longest range of the GFS weather model, has been a teaser. This shows a backdoor front bringing in some Great Lakes air into our region. This would be towards the end of July. You know, eventually, we got to get some relief, right? Eventually. Let's go to August the 3rd. I have no idea what day that is, but it shows the muggy weather coming back. All right, guys, I'm not sure. That's why I said, I think on my Facebook post, muggy forever. We're muggy forever. We just can't catch a break. All right, bringing back up the radar and satellites, which is pretty quiet across the area. We'll get back to the forecast. We'll wrap things up. We're at 10:34 on this Friday. I hope you guys have a good Friday morning. I hope you have a good weekend as well. So the only thing that we're watching here right now, there's not much activity out there. Most areas are dry. There's a little shower here to the southeast of Evansville, cruising to the east towards Owensboro. If that holds together, that might head towards Elizabethtown in a couple hours, might fall apart. Most areas are staying dry for today, so we're in pretty good shape out there. August 2nd, show your turnips. You're going to have to fill me in more about that one. I'm a little clueless on that one. All right, here is I'm going to add up the forecast, bring back up the forecast. So for today, 20% chance of a pop-up. Most areas dry. We're talking upper 80s this afternoon, feeling a bit hotter than that. Oh, sow your turnips. I got you. Out in the gardens. 6 UV index, mostly cloudy for today. Low levels on our allergy report. Angela, thank you. You have an awesome weekend. Be safe and enjoy as well. Brenda, this is not the hottest summer as far as high temperatures, but I do need to look into the low temperatures. I think we might be near record territory as far as nighttime warmth. But we've had a lot of upper 80s and low 90s, which is nowhere near the records, which are well over 100. Low tonight, 75 degrees, partly cloudy, humid, mostly dry. Tomorrow's forecast, a little better chance of some pop-up showers and thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon than today, with upper 80s, mostly cloudy sky for us. Severe weather threat is low. Now, tomorrow evening, again, we're going to watch and see if a complex of storms can hold together as it moves in from the north and northwest tomorrow evening towards sunset. Question marks on that. 7-day forecast, upper 80s, low 90s, and with more occasional pop-up showers and thunderstorms through Monday. And then by Tuesday, a ridge of high pressure builds in. That should bring in some drier weather. But again, the flip side, the payment for that drier weather could be hotter conditions, at least around 95. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. What I haven't put on there is the heat index values, which could be well over 100. In fact, I want to bring this back up because that's the one thing I forgot to show you is with the GFS weather model. Let me clear off the radar there. And let me add on the apparent temperature, so the heat index. I'm going to take this to the 23rd. And I don't think you're going to like this. I haven't had a ton of good news as far as the weather is concerned. Not a lot of good news here. So check this out. So this is the heat wave we're talking about in the middle of next week. This is next Wednesday. So let me try to plot some temps here. How do we like that? Feast your eyes on the heat index numbers next Wednesday, showing 100 to 110 around the area. Just wonderful. So that's what we have to look forward to. Just continue to plot those crazy temperatures there. All right, we'll get rid of that. So that's the last thing I wanted to show you there as far as the program here. And I want to bring up, as we start to wrap things up today, you can always get your weather tools right here for you. We put them together at extolmag.com/weather, where you're going to find our live stream. You're going to find the interactive radar, the current temperatures, the 7-day forecast, the weather story, the storm predictions, day 1, day 2 outlook, any watches, warning, storm reports, weather and traffic linked up there, rivers and lake levels, any drought status, which we are not going to have any drought status anytime soon. And then you get your interactive radar here with a look at the current temperatures, which we're starting to head up into the upper 70s. There's also a new feature on our interactive radar, which has a tornado detection added feature on the storm tracks. Thankfully, no tornado threat anytime soon. There you can see an example when you click on a storm track. You just click on the little icon right there. It shows you moving northeast at 18 miles per hour, 3/4 of an inch per hour rainfall rates. It shows you where that storm is heading. So very easy to use interactive radar right there at extolmag.com/weather. Looking live out there here at the Falls of the Ohio Foundation camera. Lush green, thanks to all the rain that we continue to have across Kentuckiana. And again, our friends at lionsroofingco.com. Hit them up if you want a free estimate at lionsroofingco.com, or you can call them 812-294-3595 and go to careers section right there. I just clicked on that in the upper right-hand corner. Roofing repair technician job opening. Let your friend know about that. Let your family know about that. They work closely, again, recently with Lions Roofing, with my mom, with her roof, with Michael Long, American Family Insurance. Proud to be an American Star certified agency. He can help you out if you're anywhere in the Hoosier State and even in Kentucky. So give him a shout, 812-578-3072. I highly recommend Michael Long, insurance agent with American Family Insurance, as I've been with him for a long, long time. A guy who gives back to his community and the schools. So check him out there. You can go to amfam.com and search Michael Long to get connected there. Libspaving.com is where you'll find a whole lot of opportunities as well. Again, if you know a friend or family member that needs a job, needs employment, needs an opportunity, check out the list of job openings all over the place right there. And of course, you can get trained for those job openings here at the Sellersburg campus, Ivy Tech Sellersburg campus. What a resource right in our backyard. Exit 9, I-65, you shoot up there, take a left. What is that, 311 right there through Sellersburg? And then their campus is right there, nestled right in the corner there at I-65 and 311. And so there you can see, and when you click on the locations and go to the Sellersburg campus, you're going to learn a whole lot more. And I highly encourage you on a very personal level to get your student involved. If they are a junior, senior in high school, or even a sophomore, they need to start preparing and get these free credits. They can save you thousands of dollars. They're saving students in Southern Indiana hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars, if not, in tuition in post-secondary education. And then getting these 2-year certifications, no matter where you're at in life, leveling you up, meeting you where you're at, 42 different programs offered. So they're in the summer session now, but let's get prepared because August 25th is when the fall sessions begin. And I'm kind of excited to head back out to the campus there and hope, and I think we're planning to do a live shot, a live broadcast out there at Ivy Tech at the Sellersburg campus. So again, kudos to all their work and their partnerships with businesses and organizations and schools throughout Southern Indiana. All right. Quick check outside, mostly cloudy sky as we look live here in Uptown New Albany at the corner of Vincennes and Market. We've got Danielle Sylvester, Yuck Ben. I think that's in reference to the ugly heat index values that I just showed you. So we're looking at our very last comments here at 10:43 on our Friday. Been a fun show. Thanks for all the comments as you've been popping in here. Laverne Bannett, thanks. Ben, thank you very much. I'm hoping, obviously, that this weather information helps you out in a big way, especially when we're preparing you for the big events. Like yesterday morning, we talked about the flooding potential, and then we got the flooding yesterday evening. Anytime we have a severe weather threat, we're going to be on here in the morning to get you prepared for it for later on today. So that's what we're here for Southern Indiana and beyond. It's Extol Media right here in New Albany and broadcasting throughout the region. I'm meteorologist Ben Peine. I want to thank you very much for joining you, whether it's on my page, Meteorologist Ben Peine, P-E-I-N-E. Let me drop that comment right there. There you can see my name. Extol Weather on Facebook, Extol Media on YouTube. Thanks for hitting the like or subscribe on YouTube. Get those numbers up there. You can get alerts. Sometimes if you hit the subscribe, you might get that notification if we're going to be going on live. Maybe it's long form coverage. Maybe we're on several hours if it is a severe weather event. So you can get us there. Also, always on extolmag.com/weather. So wherever you're popping in from, thanks for joining us on our program. Let me get rid of that and bring up the very last comment. Let's hope not. Let's all get a boat. I would love to get a boat for fun, but not for flash flooding. So, all right, you guys stay safe out there. Let's try to dodge the downpours as much as we can this weekend. I got to mow the yard somehow, even with the bad back. We're going to figure things out. We're going to be back at it next week. We're going to have a lot to talk about next week as well. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you at the same time, the same place, Monday morning, 10 a.m. It's Ben at 10. We'll see you later.